What is happening? It is a bonus hour. No Duck Insider today. You get Ducks baseball. Travel over to 910 ESPN Portland if you want to catch some Ducks baseball today and tomorrow. So we will have bonus hours both days. We'll be leaning heavy on Casey Smith since he obviously knows a lot more about sport than I do. I owe him a couple slices of pizza from Escape from New York because the Mariners could not get it done last night. It is a little disappointing, but you know what? I think I'll be okay. I think I'm going to be okay. Here, if your baseball team struggled over their first week, Mariners went 3-4. It's a losing record, but it's not abysmal. They didn't get swept. They didn't get absolutely housed. There's one way that I always try to look at baseball is to think of it on the same timeline as your NFL season. Within a week in the NFL, you get one game. You have 17 games overall. Now, you get more weeks in baseball, and you get obviously a lot more games, and the math doesn't work out perfectly. It used to, where you could just divide it and go, all right, you got 10 games. Every 10-game stretch equals one NFL game. Now, it's like 9 or whatever it is with 162 compared to 17. But if you look at it that way, you go, all right, well, not a great start to the season. You know who else didn't have a great start to their season when you look at football? Seahawks lost their opening game to the San Francisco 49ers. Sam Darnold did exactly what you expected him to do in a big moment. Fumbled the ball and gave it to the other team. The New England Patriots lost their opener to the Raiders last year.
The Raiders.
So, if you're looking at it and you're lamenting, you're going, I mean, listen, losing a pizza bet, pretty big deal. Not a big gambler. Don't mind the pizza bet, but I'm going to go put money on them to sweep the first two opening series, and I need the Bears to go out and rake.
Again, I just needed a reason to care this early in the season.
Yeah, I didn't need a reason to care. I was looking for an excuse to go grab a slice of pie with you, buddy. And so we'll have to figure out a time to do that. Jake outside, he was asking me, he's like, oh, you ordered that pizza yet? And he's a Yankees fan, so of course he's trying to dig. I go, no, I'm going to find a time, a nice sunny afternoon. We'll finish up the show. No other obligations. We'll stroll up 23rd, one of the more beautiful parts of Portland. Stroll down 23rd, go to Escape from New York. I hope it's still there. I'm just going off of memory. I assume that it is. I don't know why Escape from New York Pizza would leave at any point. But if not, we'll find another New York-style pizza joint in Portland.
Still there.
Perfect. I used to go there all the time. My first job was right up on 22nd and Petty Grove. We were at 16th and Thurman here. But I worked at a little place called Will Vinton Studios, which was the home of claymation. And we used to go up there all the time. That's where I was first introduced to it. One time I was originally hired as a member of the art department. I worked in the character fabrication department on a show called The PJs. Very cool first job for a kid. And slowly, got a little bit more responsibility until I was actually an animator on a show called Gary and Mike, which was really awesome. I got to be kind of a big shot. Then both shows got canceled within like a month of each other. And anytime they needed like a gopher or whatever, they're like, hey, what happened to that punk kid? He's cheap, isn't he? And then I would come down and I'd work and I'd do whatever. So I kind of worked at like all of these different positions, including gopher. And when I was a gopher, it was my turn to go and pick up the pizzas for whatever party we were doing or something. Went up to Escape from New York, and I used to drive at the time. This is a very long time ago. I was 17 years old when I started this job. I had to get a note from my mother saying that I was allowed to use the tools in the wood shop because I was not legally an adult, and they didn't have any forms to fill out because no 17-year-olds worked there. She wrote it. She signed a note that I wrote that said, Little Lukey is allowed to use the big bad power tools. And then she signed that. And that was on file in HR at the home of claymation in the world. This is a place that did the California Raisins, the Noid, the Moonwalker video for Michael Jackson. Like, this is a place that had a little history. Little Lukey is allowed to use the big bad power tools. But I also was
What power tools were you using?
A table saw, drill press, bandsaw, jigsaw, router. I mean, Do you want me to go through the whole list? Because a little bit of everything. You're making a world in miniature. That's the whole goal of the thing. So I was using chemicals to create these different parts of the characters and everything. It was a lot of stuff. I could get into all the details, but it'd be pretty boring pretty quickly. So we don't need to get into all of that. But as a high school student, I made a little bit of money doing the animation thing, but I didn't make a lot of money. And I drove this old 1989 Chevy S10 pickup. The problem with that pickup was the starter didn't work very well. So every time I parked it, I had to park it in a spot where it could be on a hill facing down, so I could pop the clutch
forward.
Yeah, roll it forward, pop the clutch. That's how I would get it started. Well, driving to Portland, I also had to parallel park a lot. I also did not have power steering. So finding the right parking spot was pretty difficult.
It's always a nightmare in the city.
So I get, yes, but again, no power steering, needs to be on a hill, needs to be nose down. I need to have enough room that I could pull out into a slow street so that I can coast for a little while and then pop the clutch and get it rolling. So it wasn't ideal. So I'm going up to New York, Escape from New York Pizza, and I have to pick up like 12 pizzas, and they're New York style pizzas. So you know what that means from a grease perspective is there is a nice layer of that orange pepperoni grease, that kind of clearish cheese grease that sits on top of all. That's just wonderful. And if you dab that off, how dare you? It's part of the experience. Just enjoy your pizza grease. Thank you. So I park like 8 blocks off of one of like 24th or 25th or something up. So I have to go up a few blocks. And I'm holding 12 pizzas, all New York style. And unbeknownst to me, there is a slow migration of this hot pizza grease to the corners of the box, then out the corner of the box, then down the stack of boxes until I'm about 3 blocks from my truck. And it just hits like my bare arm and just starts burning it. And I have no course of action. I can't set the pizzas down anywhere. I can't drop them. So I just had to just grin and bear it. Have this big burn mark on the inside of my forearm. Oh,
that's a gnarly one.
Yeah,
that's a tough one.
It's good times. Good time. You know what? Pizza was still good. So that's why I picked that place. I'm glad they're still open. You and I will find a lovely afternoon. We'll go out and we'll either sit on the street or in the cramped little back area of that. If you've never tried that pizza, it's fantastic. And I love me some New York pizza. I'm a little bummed that I have to buy it. But yeah, did it make the games more interesting? Not really. I did decide after watching the game that I know how to fix Cal Raleigh's little early season slump.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, only let him bat when it's like the most important at bat of the game. That's the only time he can come through.
Just pinch hit him with one run.
One
run game, bases loaded.
And that call yesterday. So I was watching the game in studio yesterday. It's obviously the getaway game. So they're playing during the day, during the show yesterday. You and I are both watching the game as we're doing the show. I think we finished up. It was the 7th. We get to the bottom of the 8th. I had to run to an appointment, so I'm in the car listening to it on the radio, and Rick Riz just with the call, oh, it's a sharp line drive. And for a second, I'm like, oh, dude, did this guy just tie up the game? Because it was bases loaded. It was 4-0 at the time. And then, of course, Ben Rice got a home run in the top of the 9th anyway, so it didn't end up mattering. But I'll tell you, that just put him up only when it matters, and he's fine. Put it up when it doesn't matter. He just strikes out. It's not a great start for your Stars. But, I mean, the rest of the lineup is hitting incredibly well. It seems like Luke Raley has been great. Dom Canzone, Cole Young, Brendan Donovan is hitting well, not fielding particularly great. But, yeah, like the heart of your lineup and all the guys that you're counting on, same with your starting pitching, a little dicey. Back end guys, pitching fine. I mean, Wu was good, and you expect him to be good. Luis Castillo and Emerson Hancock, your 2 best pitchers. So after this week, I just go, your own one. You lost to the 49ers. It is what it is. Can you get better? Do you get a trophy?
It's a long
for winning
season
the first
for a
week.
reason.
You do not. What your impressions of your Yankees squad after 1 week?
I like Ben Rice. I think he's growing on me a lot.
Well, hitting home runs and RBIs
makes it really
and winning
easy.
games for you makes it pretty easy to root for the guy.
Giancarlo Stanton is going to end up right where he wants to be in terms of his road to 500 home runs, or is it Is it 500 or is it 600?
500. He's on the way to 500.
So his road to 500. I think he'll probably end the season, at least the regular season, early, be ready for the playoffs,
Yeah.
and then come back next year. Other than that, nothing new.
Nothing new?
The pitching looks great.
Yeah.
Max Fried and Schlittler look really nice up on the mound.
Well, I'll tell you what I had watching the Yankees a little bit is left-handed starting pitching envy. That's pretty nice to have.
Yeah, they do got some nice lefties.
Well, I mean, considering the Mariners have no left-handed starters, I mean, we have Cade Anderson sitting in the minors going, oh, we're not in a big hurry to get that guy up. Love to see you put him on a fast track. If he's lighting up the minor leagues, it would be nice to have something where you can have a bit of a change-up. The nice thing about this Mariners staff is you've got established starters that have all had success in the majors. Problem is they all look a lot alike. George Kirby and Logan Gilbert, I know they're not throwing the same pitches, but they're big, lanky guys that can go out and check it. Luis Castillo, Bryce Miller, Brian Wu, they all have good fastballs and a little bit of stuff. They're all throwing from the right-hand side. It'd be nice to have somebody that could just go out and do something a little bit different, would be just one thing that you kind of look at, because it makes it challenging for lineups. I mean, the lineup was good against righties and bad against lefties in the opening week for the Mariners, so you'd love to see just a little bit of spice. A little bit of variety. A little bit of something.
Did you think they kept Kirby out there a little bit too long yesterday?
Well, sure. Yeah. Yes. They obviously
that mound
Goldschmidt
visit was tough.
Yeah. Well, you go
for a mound visit and then we'll decide to keep him in.
Yeah.
Next pitch, Goldschmidt leaves the yard.
But again, I guess this is think of baseball like football, or at least the schedule like football. That eliminates all of the decisions that you have to make this early in the season. The other problem that you've had is if your starter the day before doesn't go deep and you don't have the greatest bullpen, you don't have as many options there either. So if it's a different scenario where, it's closer to the end of the season or the postseason, you wouldn't expect that they're going to make that move. Right now, it's just trying to protect your guys in the bullpen and just going, hey, do you feel like you could throw a little bit more? He'd given up one run to that point. That was in the first, if I remember correctly.
Yes, I believe that was in the opening.
Yeah, like what are you going to do? If you sit there and scrutinize every pitching change, every swing thought, every ABS challenge,
every manager decision.
Yeah, then you're going to drive yourself absolutely crazy. Was it a good first week? It was not. Could it have been worse? Yeah. Were you like a couple decisions away from it being much better? For sure. Like, I could see that being a 5-2. You had an extra innings game. You had a couple games that were close. You had a couple decisions that threw it the other way. It is what it is. At this point, I'm feeling fine. But the request that I had last Thursday was everybody stop jockeying the Mariners. So I think it has died down. They've done what I've asked for. All their stars are terrible. There's no way they can have a great season. So the more people that doubt, the better I feel.
You're getting what you wanted.
And you're feeling good about your Yankees.
I'm liking it.
Which is great for me too. Everybody feel good about the Yankees. They're awesome.
Until October.
Yeah, well, hey. Long way away, my friend. Long way away. You know what happened today is one quarterback that hasn't won nearly as much just made more money in his career than Tom Brady. We'll talk about that next. It's bonus hour of Happy Hour on 105.1 and the Fan Sports Network.
The Fan.
So I was looking at the Take Your Pick standings, and I was having some weird issues with the timestamp. I think I've got it all figured out. I'll get that out shortly. At 2:30, we're going to play the game Take Your Pick. If you're tuning in and you're upset about hearing me and the Beastie Boys and eventually Casey Smith, I'm sorry. No Duck Insider today. You're going to want to go to 910 ESPN Portland if you're looking for the Ducks baseball game. Casey, do we know, are the Ducks good at baseball?
They're pretty good.
Pretty good.
They've had a few upsets this year, but
How about that?
I think they just had a big upset to the Portland Pilots a few days ago.
Well, is that an upset? I mean, the Pilots, let's be honest. I mean, they are.
That's an upset.
Oh, okay. If it's soccer, no.
Pilots also beat the Beavers once this year.
See, then that's what I'm saying. So is it an upset? The Pilots take their baseball seriously. They don't joke around up on the bluff. All right. Well, if you're looking for baseball, that's where you find it. We'll be here for a bonus hour today and tomorrow based on the Ducks baseball schedule, so you'll be stuck with us. If you've never played Take Your Pick, here's what's going to happen. In the next break, I'm going to effort to get the form out. We use a Google form. You can go and pick along with us. If you win, then you get to come on and pick with us next week. Now, I'm going to be out next week. I'm not talking to Dusty about the backup plan, but I'll make sure the form gets out, and somebody will be able to do it next week. What we're doing is we're picking the weekend series for the entire baseball season. So you get a break during the week. Didn't have to pick the Mariners-Yankees, but you get to pick Mariners-Angels this weekend. Do you think they can get out of their slumps against the Angels? We'll find out. So it just makes it a little bit easier, so we're going to kind of keep it simple. We'll play the entire baseball season. I'll keep standings as we go on. Carey, who won multiple times during football and the offseason, won. If I remember correctly, he works for a school and cannot make it at 2:30, so I don't feel too bad. But once I figured out, I don't know what was going on. The timestamp, it was on like Greenwich Mean Time or something, and it was throwing me off, so I was trying to figure out who submitted late and whatever, so I just threw it up there. But we'll try to make sure that doesn't continue as we go on. How do we figure out a business plan like the one Kirk Cousins has put together for his career? All this guy does is fail up. He goes and doesn't re-sign with Washington, where he's a good quarterback, but not great. And he just goes and keeps taking franchise tags and keeps betting on himself and figuring that out. He earned the contract he got from the Minnesota Vikings, right? We would all agree with that. That was one of the more savvy business moves anybody has made in the NFL, going, hey, if you're going to pay me to keep me here on these one-year contracts that keep growing and I can still hit free agency, bring on the franchise tags. A lot of guys look at it and go, I'm not playing under that. You get a holdout or hold in or whatever it is. Kirk Cousins certainly made that work. Then he goes until he's too hurt to play and goes and signs a huge deal with the Atlanta Falcons. Does he look great there? Not really. Gets hurt again. Just signed with the Raiders for $20 million today for one season. Now, the Falcons are going to pay $8 million of that, and the Raiders won't have to pay $13 of it, so it kind of seems like a decent move for the Raiders. I mean, the fact that you're going to be, most likely still picking Fernando Mendoza at the top of the draft. You've got a veteran quarterback in there, and I think it was yesterday Clint Kubiak said he would prefer not to start a rookie. Now you've got a guy that can be your bridge starter, feels like a guy that can be your mentor. So, even looking at this from the outside, you go, that seems like a good move. I don't care if it was a good move for the Raiders. I need to figure out how the brain of Kirk Cousins and his team have figured this all out, man. That guy has made more from mediocre talent than maybe anybody we've ever seen in sport.
And if I'm Fernando Mendoza, I just look at that contract, I go, 5 years, $172 million. Yeah, I think that sounds good for me.
Yeah.
All I have to do is be middle of the road.
Well, hey, I mean, if you're going to learn from a guy, not just because part of the thing about going into the NFL is if you can build that relationship with veterans around you, you're going to learn a lot more than just football. It's about how to carry yourself in meetings, about how to show up, be a valuable teammate. Because part of it is if Kirk Cousins was an absolute, jerk or difficult to deal with or couldn't adapt to the locker room, he wouldn't keep getting signed to these deals. He's been around long enough that reputation matters a ton in these scenarios. So it's somebody that can go in, is going to be ready to start and is going to be okay if he doesn't, and just keep making money, but fully guaranteed again. He has now eclipsed Tom Brady in career earnings.
How many pay cuts did Brady have to take over his career?
Well, he was married to the wealthiest model in the world, so he took the... I don't know how many it was. Felt like he was doing it every year, and it wasn't always necessarily a pay cut. It was restructuring. I don't remember a time where Tom Brady ever signed the mega deal to begin with. So then when they become restructuring, it was never like, oh, Tom Brady just signed the most lucrative quarterback deal in the history of the NFL. But he played for 20 years. That's the part of it, is his career isn't over for that short of a period of time that it's been, a big runway for Kirk Cousins to make money. Tom Brady started playing when TVs were standard definition. They used a tube. LED wasn't a thing. Nobody had ever heard of 4K. It is an entirely different era that he grew up playing in. So that front half of his career, I know he was a late round pick. I know he didn't emerge for a couple of seasons, but still, it's just one of the things to put in perspective when you think of the success Kirk Cousins has had. Playoff wins? Does he have any?
He has one.
One.
You like that.
That's right. That's right. One playoff win. Tom Brady has 7 Super Bowl championships.
Tom Brady's largest contract in terms of guaranteed money was his contract that he signed with Tampa Bay, which was the 2-year, $50 million.
There you go. It's pretty good. And with all of the different options for this contract. So it's guaranteed $20 million for this year, and then potentially it's worth, another $110 million or whatever it is for Kirk Cousins. I mean, the whole thing.
Yeah, up to 5 years, 172.
Not too bad. Not too bad, and you just have to go out and perform. It's interesting to look at the way that teams are approaching this, should be approaching this. This has been a big conversation. Patrick Mahomes is, I believe, the largest percentage of the salary cap ever to win a Super Bowl. Before that, it was Steve Young, but that was like when the salary cap had just come around. But there was a long stretch where I want to say it was 13%. No team had won with a player taking up more than 13% of the salary cap. And that was almost always a quarterback, and it was almost always the guy that you felt you absolutely had to pay. The guy that just won the Super Bowl was Sam Darnold. I think he ended up making $40 million with incentives from last year, but the contract he signed wasn't huge. Obviously, going to the Super Bowl is going to net you more money, but having big guaranteed money and a lot of incentives built in on the back end seems like the way to do it. The salary cap goes up 10% or so every year in the NFL. So there's always going to be more money than you suspect. And we talked about this with the JSN contract that was signed the other day. And who knows if Puka Nacua is going to match that. It felt like he might, but not sure now. For those contract extensions, so the way JSN's works is he's team friendly for the next 2 years because it's an extension on what he did. And then you have 4 years on the back end of that contract where he's making big money. But big money for 2026. When you get to 2030, where's the salary cap going to be?
Probably middle of the road, or even not even out of the top 15.
It won't take a whole lot of time for that contract to get eclipsed, for somebody else to go out there and go, our guy's the best guy, and we're going to prove it and lay down the money. It's a wild time of year. I mean, I woke up this morning and realized I believe we're 3 weeks from the NFL draft.
That is true.
It's crazy. The NFL offseason just absolutely dominates, and you feel like that first run of free agency is such a big deal. And if all the guys don't come off the board, there's still some decent names out there that can end up being signed. But the Kirk Cousins move today felt like the Raiders just got better. Whether he's your starter or not, feels like they got better. You have a organization that looked like an absolute mess last year, and they try to trade away Max Crosby to go and get more assets. Well, he ends up coming back to you. They spent a ton of money. This is going to look not just like a different team. It's going to look like a different organization this year. New head coach. You have another year with Tom Brady trying to figure out how to properly tamper and do all that while keeping his other job that should obviously be a conflict of interest, while trying to mentor the team without using his weird henchman Alex Guerrero to be too invasive. So they get a little better at what they do. Clint Kubiak obviously comes from a coaching family, started the Mike Macdonald coaching tree. I mean, the whole thing is very, very exciting. But I don't know, put an early circle around the Raiders to be one of those teams to make the big jump this year. I don't know that I'd be opposed to that.
Again, big jump from 3 games last year was what they won, 3-14.
I mean,
that'll by far be the biggest jump.
And the only caveat to that, look at the division. It's gonna be difficult. You would expect the Chiefs to bounce back. You expect the Chargers to kind of stick around where they were, which was, hey, they get to the playoffs. Doesn't mean they're gonna do anything in the playoffs. And the Denver Broncos were in the championship game, and a Bo Nix fracture from, possibly being your Super Bowl representative for the AFC. And it feels like they got better in the offseason too. So it's always fun to look at these moves and just go, all right, seems like a very good idea. On the other side, it's Kirk Cousins. Is he really going to make you that much better? I'll take him over Geno Smith.
But you're getting what you're going to get out of him.
Yeah, I mean, you're getting a reliable, steady mentor presence in there, and I don't think anybody's going to punch him in the face. So
hopefully not.
Well, you've already upgraded. It's only time will tell. It is very difficult to make these proclamations and figure it out. We're going to jump back over to baseball, and this feels like a big moment. We talked about this the other day. I want to see if your excitement level has changed on a team with something that hasn't even happened yet, but has been announced. So we'll kind of see where your temperature gauge is on the excitement level for one baseball city. We will do it after this Sports Center update.
First on the Fan, I missed this story about a week ago. It was last Tuesday. Was the
I'm glad you brought it back.
25th anniversary of this happening.
Okay.
This is when Randy Johnson struck the bird. After 25 years, I'm still finding out more and more details about this. Do you know who was at bat while he was pitching?
You know what? I do not. I think I might have known at some point, but no, please do tell.
Calvin Murray was hitting.
Okay.
He is the uncle of Minnesota Vikings quarterback Kyler Murray, and he was at bat for the San Francisco Giants when Arizona Diamondbacks pitcher Randy Johnson hit the bird mid-flight.
That's hilarious. I almost said that it was the Giants, and I would have been right, but my memory was getting a little bit fuzzy. Do you know where I was when that bird was hit? Did we talk about this?
No, where were you?
I was in Surprise, Arizona. We had driven down from Vancouver, Washington, and we ended up taking one day off of the time we were going to spend at spring training to visit a friend who was in Vegas. I was 18 years old. My two buddies were 19, and an older friend of ours was turning 21. So we're like, have dinner in Vegas with a friend and his parents and whatever. So we went over and just said hey to them, family, friends. And then we were a day late getting into Arizona. We were sitting in the Surprise, Arizona hotel room that we had for the spring training trip. Watched that on TV. 2 days later, we watched Julian Tavares being Russ Davis, who was playing for the Giants at the time. Tavares was with the Cubs. Davis charged him out. Tavares jumped up and did a spin kick and kicked him right in the chest. So that's why I was thinking it was the Giants, but I'm like, maybe I'm getting my Russ Davis Murray thing mixed up. But yeah, we were. If we had gotten in one day early, I guarantee we would have all wanted to watch Randy Johnson pitch because we're all grown-up Mariners fans. We went down to see if we could see Ichiro, is why we were going down there. 2001.
I love it how they waited 25 years and waited until Kyler Murray was on his second team to let us know.
I'm sure it's come up.
I bet, but
yeah,
again, new
one of the wildest things. If Jamie Moyer had hit that bird, the bird would still be alive.
And for more sports scores and stories in 30 minutes, I'm Casey Smith from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt, missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at WarrenAllen.com.
Sports Saturday with
That was fast. We're missing Ducks Insider today. I'm sorry. I'm not in charge of when they do the show or not. But if you're excited about Ducks baseball, 9:10, ESPN Portland, go there. Same setup tomorrow. You will get 2 bonus hours this week. Today and tomorrow, bonus hours. We'll get into our regular shenanigans when we get into the 2 o'clock hour. That means we will play Take Your Pick at 2:30. Still working on getting those out. Emily, that's why I was a little upset with how quickly that commercial break went.
I need a victory here.
I'll get it out.
I need a victory.
Yeah, have you gotten a victory yet?
No, I have not.
Well,
You've beaten me twice on both times that I've been the closest.
Well, that doesn't surprise me at all. But hey, listen, we put the pizza bet out there and you win that one, so there's really nothing on the line for you and I. We're probably going to be on the show anyways. So what are you going to do? But we'll play that. We're picking weekend baseball series, so we'll get that out as quick as I can. I can only move so fast. I'm just one man. Do you? This is interesting. You're 24 years old.
Yes, sir.
I am 44 years old. What is your excitement level when you see a teenage prospect ready to go up and make their major league debut?
Should have done more back in the day.
That's funny because you're in that spot where like, if I'd have put in a little bit more effort and done a little bit more.
I'm 5'9", 155 pounds. There's no shot. Not a single shot.
Yeah. See, I'm just at this point. I'm just like, that was dead and buried so long ago that I don't even think about it. But for some reason, there is all of this excitement that I have for a guy that's ready to debut for a team that I don't think I care about. I don't know that I have any ill will towards the Pittsburgh Pirates. Paul Skeens, I'm glad that he's still there, and I hope that he pitches there for a long time under a couple of conditions. The Pirates make an effort to be good while he's there.
Yep.
And the Pirates figure out a way to be in big moments, whether it's postseason runs or World Series or whatever that is. But
playing important games.
Yeah, that's exactly what
Meaningful
it is. Like because you can build like Shohei Ohtani played with Mike Trout with the Angels. They never played in any big games. There's been plenty of teams with no stars that have come out of nowhere and played in big moments and turned guys into stars. Like you could make the argument that Derek Jeter is not the best shortstop the Yankees have ever had, let alone one of the top shortstops. But he was in so many big moments, you can't argue that guy is a legend.
100%.
Was he a good he's an okay shortstop? Was he the best shortstop on his team at times? No, he was not. A-Rod was a better player, but a less likable guy.
I'd argue that he was not the best fielder on his team because he had a much better third baseman, and he had the best second baseman turning twos up.
Yes, but he was in so many big moments. So if Skeens is going to stay on the Pirates, I just need him to have those opportunities. Whether it's a all-star roster or a bunch of scrappy dudes, somehow I want to see the Pirates make off-season moves that you go, all right, this is a team that's trying. I want to see them make moves at the trade deadline where you go, okay, they might not have an easy path here, but they're at least making an effort. And I want to see them in those big moments because you want to see the best players in big moments. It's fun when Shohei Ohtani is on deck with a chance to tie up the World Series and Miguel Rojas hits a home run, just as good. But there's anticipation knowing that guy is there. So that's
you
what
want the Paul Skeens throwing for 5 scoreless innings. You don't want him
throwing
pop flies and the center fielder just being non-existent.
But honestly, if he gets lit up, it was still a story. That's how good Paul Skeens has been. I mean, you just win a Cy Young, and you come back, and your first start is expected to be great because you were good in the World Baseball Classic and all of those things. You can flounder in a big moment. I mean, it's still interesting to watch, but I just don't want the best players in baseball buried on franchises. Like Mike Trout's been amazing, and he looks good to start this year. He's never won a postseason baseball game.
He actually had his first error since 2022 the other day.
Well, yeah, but I mean, not being in there a lot.
But going 4 years without making mistakes.
How many games did he play in that time period?
I'd have to look.
Yeah, see that. I'm not saying that he didn't play a lot of games, but I know he missed his handful of time. Well, the Pirates are making a move that is at least exciting to me. We talked about this the other day. The Pirates have a kid named Connor Griffin, who is the top prospect in baseball. He is a shortstop. He is 19 years old, and he will make his major league debut tomorrow for the Pirates home opener. That's the kind of moves you make when you have Paul Skeens, right? Is Connor Griffin going to be the truth? Is he going to be the next great baseball player? Is he going to be, a Hall of Famer? Who knows? But you don't delay bringing up a kid when you have a roster that is not great, but you have everybody's attention.
Pieces to win now. They have pieces to win now, and if you really want a guy like, with the conversation being, is Skeens going somewhere? Is Skeens the dude that wants out? You don't want that. You don't want that conversation.
Your conversation now is, what's this kid going to do? And for the rest of this year, that may be the only conversation that they have sprinkled in around Paul Skeens. But at least it's another conversation. So having a top prospect playing one of the premier positions in baseball, a guy that can absolutely rip at the plate, whether he ends up having a great season or not, whether he ends up being a rookie of the year or not, I think is inconsequential at this moment. You said, 2 days ago were we talking about this? You said you were not that excited about the Pirates. How much does this one move?
This changes everything.
Everything.
Yeah, this changes everything. This was the one, I think, piece of excitement that Pirates fans had left. Paul Skeens is going to go do Paul Skeens things, but what have Pirates pitchers done in the past? Had successful years and then taken the contract elsewhere just to get out of Pittsburgh.
Yep.
O'Neal Cruz, you see him struggling right now. What piece of Pirates baseball can I attach myself to? It's the young kid who's about to make his debut and be a star.
Yeah, well, and there's always that funny thing in sports where we root so hard for the ascension, and then we sit back and we enjoy the fall. Nobody roots for a 19-year-old kid to go up and be terrible. Everybody wants him to be great. But how many people tuned in to watch the body cam footage of Tiger Woods today to just see what happened in his arrest video?
I stopped what I was doing. I immediately was like, oh, Tiger?
Yep.
All right.
But it's not good news for Tiger today. I mean, the two headlines are body cam footage released, and he will not be your Ryder Cup captain. Like, you knew both of those things were coming, and yet you still stopped everything you're doing because it's Tiger Woods. We love the rise. We love the fall just as much. And Tiger's at that part in his career where you're rooting like every other day for one or the other. And it's tragedy and it's comedy and it's all of those things. But there's something about, especially in baseball, when you look at the other numbers, the last position player to come up as a teenager, Juan Soto, 2018.
He's pretty good.
How'd that work out? So you look at this and you just go, all right, here's a 19-year-old about to make his debut. Let's see what it can be. Now, since 2018, Juan Soto's on his third team. I hope it doesn't end up being that. But the Washington Nationals, they
got a championship with him.
Their championship with him, and then he went out and made all of his money. I know that they're talking contract with this kid, trying to figure it out. We've seen Colt Emerson just signed a big, 8-year.
The Brewers kid 95. As well, signing a 9-year, $50 million.
Well, and then they signed up Jackson Chourio before he made his debut. I think he got $88 million. So yeah, there are definitely moves to be made. And I want to keep riding this wave, and signing guys early is, I think, the counter to all of the free agency things that are upsetting the Players Association so much. And making these gambles and going out and going, hey, is this guy going to be our guy? There's going to be a couple that fail, and there have. I mean, there's plenty of history of this that you can go and cite an example of plenty of guys that were signed before they made their debut and did nothing. The majority of those, though, have been successful. And certainly the ones that are more recently, it's fun to see baseball teams that are not named the Dodgers, not named the Yankees, figuring out other ways to compete. And now I think I'm officially rooting for the Pirates.
I think I am too. The last thing I want is.
Do you own anything that's black and yellow, though?
I think I do.
Okay.
I think I own a few things.
Technically, it's black and gold are the official colors of the Steelers.
It's Pantone gold.
It is, but I don't know. It's still black and yellow. 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 All right. Where should we go? Oh, I know where we're going here. The NBA is coming down to the final few days. I need to know where you're sitting with this MVP race. I want to get your favorites. I know it's probably not going to be Scoot Henderson. I'm as disappointed as you are. I thought we all believed that this was going to be his MVP turn season. Well, somebody that was drafted in his class may be in that conversation. Who are the guys? Who is your guy? Who are you rooting for when we get to the postseason? We'll do that next. It is bonus hour of Happy Hour on 105.1 The Fan.
The new
All right, I managed to get it done. We've got links up, I believe, on your Twitter. Go to @FanHappyHour. It's on my personal Facebook, and I send it out in an email to everybody that plays on a regular basis. I'm giving you the early game as like kind of a bonus. Because, listen, Thursday, I don't want to eliminate this series. We're going out. We're playing some baseball. I'm gonna give you that as a bonus.
I like the sound of it.
So roll into the weekend series. Got some fun ones this weekend. We'll do that at 2:30. As we get to the end of the NBA season, I know that there are some teams that are tanking, trying to increase their odds. I know that it hasn't been the most exciting stretch of basketball the world has ever seen. I get that. We just had a month where Luka scored 600 points. Wemby has back-to-back 41-point games. Jokic is going to get his back-to-back triple-double seasons going. SGA has a 175,000 game streak with 20 points or more. Who's your MVP right now, Casey? I don't know if I'm more in the Joe Mazzulla camp where I do not care about these awards and it does not matter to me, or if I'm just kind of intrigued to see if my perception matches what everybody else is seeing. The Luka thing is interesting to me because I still think that there's some sour grapes for the way that he ended up in LA. I think a lot of people probably look at that and go, he should still be wearing a Dallas Mavericks uniform, or he should have been put up as a trade offer where any team could have bid on him. I think people seeing him in a Lakers uniform is still a little bit irritating. Totally get that. Victor Wembanyama, I have made it very clear that I'm very bitter. Bitter is probably the word. I'm bitter that the Spurs have had 2 lottery wins like no other with Tim Duncan and Victor Wembanyama. SGA is one of those guys that don't really love watching him play. And Nikola Jokic is insane to me. He's already won 3 MVPs. And the year that he did not win in that 4-year stretch was the one year that he won the championship and was probably the best of those 4 years. I think they're all good choices. I think you can talk yourself out of taking any of them. But right now, for me, I'm not sure where I lean. So help me out, Casey. Where do you have a favorite in this race? Is it the best player on the best team? Is it the guy that has the least around him? Is it the guy that does it in the most unique way? Or is it one of these guys that hasn't won one yet where you can go, hey, you've deserved this for a long time. Here you go.
Well, if you recall, a few weeks ago, I had an MVP futures bet.
You did on Cade Cunningham.
On our boy Cade Cunningham.
He is currently
2 weeks later
with a collapsed lung.
A collapsed lung. So,
yeah.
Again, a collapsed lung seems to just be...
They're coming for you?
They're coming for me.
Yeah. I don't know how bad a collapsed lung is. When they said it was 2 weeks, I was like, whoa, that seems really fast. It sounds like one of the more insane injuries to get in sport, and it seems like something I would never recover from. Like, I don't know why I just picture, that'll kill you. I don't think, obviously, that that's a thing, but for some reason in my little pea brain, I hear collapsed lung, and I think it is as severe as it can be. But I also just talked to somebody that I know. How about this for a little story for you? His wife is calls him up and says that she's on the floor because she was holding her baby and reaching for something and heard a loud pop in her knee, collapse to the floor, full tear of her ACL, just shifting her weight wrong while holding the kid. She has surgery scheduled for June.
Oh, my.
So I think we forget with the timelines for some of these injuries where somebody ruptures their ACL on Sunday, they're in surgery on Tuesday, they are starting their rehab on Friday. That's the pattern that we're used to when we watch sports. That is not the pattern that the rest of us have the opportunity.
The human body is necessarily...
Well, forget the human body. The healthcare system is not prioritizing you getting back on your feet and back to a 4.240 because you ruptured your ACL holding a baby. There is not millions of dollars and people's jobs on the line if you're not back out there as quick as you can be. Also, something I think of often, I had a rotator cuff issue with my shoulder, and they offered arthroscopic surgery, which was always, anytime we went down as kids, my dad would be like, what do you need, arthroscopic surgery? First time it had actually been offered me, I had to call him up and be like, hey, guess what? But then they actually walk through what arthroscopic surgery is. That's where they just go in and dig around and see how bad it is. It's not even a real surgery. It's just, we're going to cut you open, see if you need an actual surgery.
It's investigative.
It is. And then you might have to have another surgery. But then they talked me through this. They're like, all right, here's what you got. You got a partial tear in your shoulder. There's 2 things we can do. We can go in, have the surgery, and it might make it better. But you have a long recovery. Or just leave it alone. It might get better. Your other muscles will compensate for it. Your arm isn't going to fall off. You're not going to die. You're not going to go worse. So we hear of all these surgeries that they have, and you go, oh, man, they need to get this guy back. You think you're going to get the same injury and get the same treatment. You're not. So collapsed lung, I don't know what it's going to do to me, and I'm probably going to have to sit there with my wife and get a calculator out and go, all right, can we afford to get this lung uncollapsed? Well, I got 2 lungs. I should probably be okay. It's probably not going to be.
It's still.
I don't know. I have no idea.
I think you need both of them.
But here's the thing is, yes, you're right. I probably need both lungs. But if I get a collapsed lung, it is very different than Cade Cunningham getting a collapsed lung, I guess is my point. So the 2-week recovery time, I don't exactly know what that means. That aside, who's your MVP?
I think it's going to be Shai Gilgeous. Luka doesn't do enough defensively.
Okay.
Jokic is, again, with 5 games left, he's played 61, so he has to play.
He has to play all 5 games.
Has to play all 5.
But so he has the triple-double wrapped up. Does that mean he could play all 5 games and do nothing and still have a triple-double for the season?
I think he would still average the triple-double.
How crazy? See what I'm saying? And you're dismissing him because you don't think he'll play all the games. There's a little line in the contract.
He can only miss one. So
But
5 games left.
Is there a
He's at 61 games.
Is there a contract that exists in the NBA that you win the MVP and don't get paid a whole lot more money? Like, I don't care what you think of the trophies, and I don't know what you think of his effort level. There's probably a big old chunk of cash attached to that.
Waiting for him on the other side.
There's a lot of barrels of grain and barley and bales of alfalfa for his horse ranch back in Serbia.
Or just a horse.
What? I don't know. I haven't seen the contract. Is there enough for a horse? I don't know how much horses cost. We have the Kentucky Derby coming up in about a month, and those horses cost a whole lot of money. He does that chariot racing, I believe. I don't know how much those horses cost, but I know they're not cheap. I love that you're looking at that. Like, how much if you and I wanted to start a happy hour chariot racing team, how much would it cost for the horse? And more importantly, how much would it cost for the chariot?
Between 5,000 and 500,000.
Again,
between 300 and a million, between 300,000 and a million for elite Derby level.
Okay, so I was right. We're out on the Derby horses. You can get a
but an average contender. It's just a few cars.
5,000 to 500,000. Is that the number?
5,000 to 500. Yep.
Whew. Pretty big range. I look at a horse, and I have no idea what that thing is worth. I know that I do not have the money or the time to deal with either of those things. So you're going with Shea. You're saying that the back-to-back triple-doubles, 5 games short of the end of the season, throw that out. Luka doesn't play enough defense, even though he's on as historic a scoring run as anybody. I mean, Shea's on one too, I guess. And Wemby, if defense matters to you,
I think Wemby's the best player in the NBA right now.
Okay.
But you can't deny that Shea Gilgeous has done a lot this year where it's convincing enough. Luka's rush is this last month.
Yeah.
But January, February, it was, where's Luka? What are we going to expect from the Lakers? I don't believe in Wemby getting it as much because I think point scoring is going to be considered way more important.
It's always tricky to go, is it the best player award or is it the most valuable player on the award? And I know it's just semantics. You take Luka off of that team, you take Jokic off of his team, they got nothing. That's where I think that I end up leaning. But again, because of the voters, because he's already got 3, I think the Jokic one is probably where I would throw it if I had a vote. The guy is absolutely insane. His usage rate. The other thing with Shea is he did miss a stretch of games already this season because he's pretty close to that line of not playing enough games as well. I think Jokic is too. But with Shea, how many fourth quarters has he sat out this year? I know early in the season it was most of them until they had that run-in with the Spurs around Christmas time. I don't think he had played a full fourth quarter because he didn't have to. So that's the other thing, is looking at just the minutes, the need. That Oklahoma City team is really good.
Shea Gilgeous-Alexander is at 64 games. Only needs to play one more to be eligible for the MVP.
How many minutes is he? Out of those 4 guys, I wonder who's playing the fewest minutes. That would be my curiosity. And I don't know that that's the end-all, be-all.
Jokic averages 34.9.
Waiting on the others. I thought you had all of the stats already pulled up, ready to go. My apologies for that.
Shea Gilgeous 33.5.
Okay. So he plays fewer. Jokic plays.
And Wemby plays 29.2. So Jokic is playing the most minutes of all of them.
Yeah. Except Luka. I'm sure he's playing a ton. We don't even check him. You're dismissing Luka. You're all out on the Luka thing. I think he's making it interesting at the end. I think you're probably right that he doesn't get it. And I think there's, like I said,
35.9 for Luka.
So most minutes. But I think there's I think sour grapes prevent him from winning it anyways. And let's be honest, kind of whiny. He's kind of annoying. It's all of those things. But dude can freaking score.
He can ball.
We will get into the regularly scheduled happy hour. We will do it next. You are listening to 105.1 The Fan.
the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, your Portland Trailblazers are back in action, hosting the New Orleans Pelicans at 7 p.m. And with 5 games remaining on the regular season schedule, tonight the Blazers will be without Jeremy Grant, Vit Krejci, Damian Lillard, and Shaedon Sharpe, while Young Hansen and Chris Youngblood are listed as doubtful. Nevertheless, Portland comes into the contest as 6.5-point favorites. Some more Blazers news for you, as the NBA has fined the Portland Trailblazers $100,000 for illegal contact the team made with Young Hansen in December of 2023, 2 years before the 7-footer from China was drafted. The league has also suspended assistant general managers Mike Schmitz and Sergey Oliva for violating league rules governing contact with a draft-ineligible player as it pertains to Young. Some NFL news for you, as Kirk Cousins has agreed to terms with the Las Vegas Raiders. Cousins will get $20 million in guarantees in 2026, while the deal includes a club option for 2 years worth up to $80 million and could potentially be worth up to $172 million over 5 years. Finally, your Seattle Mariners fell in the series to the New York Yankees yesterday afternoon as the Yankees picked up the 5-3 win inside T-Mobile Park. Seattle moves to 3-4 on the season as they will travel to Los Angeles to take on the Angels tomorrow at 6:30. And for more sports scores and stories in 30 minutes, I'm Casey Smith from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at WarrenAllen.com.
Hey, it's on. Look, it's on.
Oh, it's on.
Happy Thursday, all you beautiful radio listeners. Thanks for dropping in on our little happy hour. We appreciate you listening. If you're watching on YouTube, here's a hand gesture just for you. You're welcome. YouTubers, feel free to hit us up on the chat. If you're listening on the radio, 105.1 The Fan, or 105.1 FM or 1080 AM. If you're on 105.1thefan.com, Odyssey.com, the Odyssey app, or you just ask your smart speaker to play me the result of that pizza bet. We've already done that. I'm sorry, you've missed it. Use the text line 503-2GO-FAN. That's 503-864-6326. Use it. Use the chat. Use the text to share your thoughts, ask questions, solicit advice, or answer me this, dear listener. Did you catch any April Fool's fails? Did anybody try one on you? Did anybody think that they were being wise?
No, the second I got home yesterday, it was very much, all right, no April Fools. We are just going to be serious the rest of the day because my girlfriend's a teacher and the kids gave her a lot of crap yesterday.
Did they? They were being April Fools.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. It was funny. One of my daughters come home and we were like, hey, were there any April Fool's things? She's like, I thought that was on the 4th. And I'm like, nope. And then my wife and I discussed the plans that we had made. And I'd forgotten that we had done this. So yesterday on the show, we talked about this. I told my wife that we should tell the kids that we're moving. Like, she got a job out of state and we're going to move across the country or something, or around the world or whatever she wanted.
Just best with the brains.
That's what, yeah, just see how they'd react. Because I was looking at that as more of just a quick experiment. See what would happen if in a few years we decide we're going to move to Hawaii
now we're
or
tempering
Spain.
Expectations for the future.
Exactly. So I was kind of trying to think ahead with that. But I'd forgot that when I told her that, she wasn't picking up on the nonverbal cues from across the room or the verbal hints that I was making to try to subvert the children that were in the room. So I told one of my daughters to get out of the room so I could talk to your mom. And then the first thing she asked, she's like, what were you guys talking about? What were you guys talking about? You said you might tell me later. What are we talking about? What are you talking about? So then we just gave up on that. And then I gave up my wife's, and I was like, that was my April Fool's idea. And my daughter's like, oh. And then I go, well, your mom's idea was the chocolate-covered Brussels sprouts, to which my wife goes, hey, what if we use that later? I'm like, dude,
it's still gold.
Like, yeah, I know. It's like she still loves that idea. And I'm like, it's still a waste of food. Still. So her and I have very different ideas of what you should do on April Fools. But did you happen to catch what the Washington Wizards did for their April Fool's joke.
I did see this.
Okay, so for anybody that didn't see it, the Wizards had a blindfolded ticket holder at half court who was trying to make a blindfolded half court shot. He throws it up, and oh my gosh, it went in, and everybody pretends that it went in. It missed by 30 feet. It was not close. Everybody mobs him, all the mascots. Oh! Then everybody gets upset. So then the Wizards come out and go, well, it wasn't actually, it was a actor that we actually hired to do it. It's just making it even dumber because you didn't actually prank anybody. And the whole thing has come smashing down on their heads. They tried to do something that they thought would be funny. It was very poorly executed. It was ridiculed. Then they admitted that they didn't even do an actual prank on somebody because they didn't want to hurt anybody's feelings, because exactly the backlash that they got, they wanted to avoid. And then they had to apologize for that, which made it lamer.
Egg on their face.
I mean, it is the Wizards. It's a distraction from us talking about their 17-win record. So actually,
Or the fact that someone dropped 83 points on them earlier this year.
yeah, not great, not great. So I guess we did bring both of those things up. So making any attention towards the Wizards probably a bad idea. But thinking through the ones that we were planning, were they great? They were not. I'm not pretending that they were. Again, not a prankster over here. Stupid jokes, right up my alley. Pranks, not so much. So looking at what we did, we completely ignored the idea that corporate, and yes, the NBA is corporate. Corporate pranks are absolutely the worst. You have to run them through so many different scenarios to make sure that they're right. It's going to be muted down. You're going to put somebody out there that's not going to execute it well, and the whole thing blew up in their face. So that was the only one that I saw. I don't know if you saw any more.
I didn't. I really just saw that one.
But we were dead right that, hey, April Fool's Day, big waste of time, trying to make a big production out of it, not going to turn out well, and it did not. Now, here's how you do big productions. Pittsburgh is doing it right. They're getting ready to welcome the nation for the unofficial beginning of football season, and the city's kickoff celebration will be an unforgettable, invite-only night of music. They're calling it the night before. It takes place Wednesday, April 22nd at the Rivers Casino Event Center. Jason Aldean, John Morgan, Shane Prophet, all there. Here's what you got to do. Go to odyssey.com/thenightbefore to enter for your chance to win this national contest. Prize includes round-trip airfare for 2, hotel stay, and 2 tickets to the show. You should probably jump on that right now. The Blazers' new ownership had nothing to do with what we just heard, but how sweet of a start is this? So what did we say yesterday? All right, the Blazers now have this little bit of momentum to go in, get into the playoff game. Who are the guys that we're keeping? Are we keeping the coach? Are we keeping the players? Are we keeping the front office? The first day after we find out that the sale is official, $100,000 fine, 2 suspensions in the front office.
Report cards went home to mom.
Come on. Dude, that's all I was thinking about. Your comment was almost. Do you want to just say exactly what you said? Because it's too good. This is a time we need to behave. What did you say yesterday?
The Blazers right now are acting like the kids who are about to find out that their report cards are getting sent home in a month. So when you're finding out that the letters are getting sent home, you're going to start behaving a lot better. Maybe start tightening up the P's and Q's. Maybe act a little better.
So let me ask you this question. Is this something that endears you to a new owner? Listen, pushing the envelope a little bit. It's a $100,000 fine. It's not like they're getting their hands cut off.
That's as much as the Pacers got fined for tanking.
Yeah, exactly. And this is going out. Now, Young Han-Sun has not played a ton of NBA minutes. Took the remix to the playoff. I don't know what happened, but I think I saw that they played a postseason game. I didn't even know that was a thing until I don't even know if I saw it or if somebody said it and I overheard it. But I believe somewhere in my brain rattling around is the idea that the Portland remix may or may not have played in a postseason game.
Clinched their first playoff berth in franchise history.
So when's the game? And can we go? And should we go? We'll get some pizza and we'll go up there.
It is April 3rd at 7 p.m. against Stockton.
Oh, Stockton. They're another team. Gotta watch out for them. At the Child Center? Are they hosting it? Or do we have to go down to Stockton, California?
It's in Stockton.
Damn. There go my plans for the 3rd. What is that, tomorrow? Yeah, there go my plans for tomorrow. What are you gonna do? So if you're new ownership and you see this, does this even register on your radar? Do you give these guys high fives? Do you do anything with this?
I give them the pats on the back, but when they're done with the self-grandizing, if you want to pat yourself on the back, you can.
Yeah.
But don't let it go too far.
Yeah. Well, the curiosity is what happens with this draft pick that you were willing to go and approach 2 years too early, and start putting him in your pipeline. I mean, there was some excitement. The Chinese Jokic is going to be out there, but he's certainly not ready for prime time at this point. What is he, 20 years old? So yeah, we got time. We got time, kids. Are you ready?
Yeah, he's 20.
Are you ready for a little, in case you missed it?
Let's do it.
In case you missed it, Rams receiver Puka Nacua is currently in a holistic rehab facility working on his, quote, overall behavior following allegations that he bit a woman and made anti-Semitic remarks on New Year's Eve. This is new. I understand drug rehab is for drugs and alcohol rehab is for alcohol. How much of a tool do you have to be to go to rehab for overall behavior? Nice work. What an ass. That's amazing. That's the first time I've ever heard that. And I know a lot of terrible people. I love the idea of holistic rehab for being a jerk. I'm picturing Puka Nacua in a linen robe holding a rose quartz to realign his chakras, and the second he tries to bite a thumb or say something offensive, a life coach hits him with a squirt from a bottle of organic wheatgrass. Just bat, get down. Wait, real quick, didn't holistic healing transform Aaron Rodgers from being the funny discount double check guy into being the ayahuasca double douche? Is this really what we want to do? No? Is that not? If the holistic pipeline turned Aaron Rodgers from a relatable MVP into a man who married a ghost and thinks the media is a hive mind, Puka Nacua is in real trouble. With Puka's starting point, he won't just be doing darkness retreats. He's going to be the supreme leader of a coastal commune where the only currency is human teeth. I'm just making the prediction. But don't worry, fantasy owners. The NFL's second leading receiver will be back in time for OTAs. Here we go. Good to go. In case you missed it, the Raiders finalized a 1-year, $20 million contract with veteran quarterback Kirk Cousins. They're still expecting to take Fernando Mendoza with the number 1 overall pick, which is exciting for Mendoza, considering since he was 12 years old, Mendoza has been Kirk Cousins every year for Halloween. Did you know that? That's like... And Kirk Cousins, let's go. He might have the greatest agent of all time. Cousins just signed another fully guaranteed contract with a third franchise. Cousins just eclipsed Tom Brady in career earnings, and in anticipation of Cousins expecting to be the mentor of the first overall pick, Fernando Mendoza, in anticipation, his agent just put in a trademark for the Doublemint Dorks. Like, he's ahead of everything. This guy... That quarterback room is going to be awesome. They're going to be like, check out the new Blacklight Star Wars poster I just put up. Isn't that cool? It's gonna be like Step Brothers. Am I wrong? Is it gonna be?
It's gonna be 100% like Step
right.
Brothers.
It's like it'll be the most sweater vested quarterback room in NFL history.
Let's go do karate in the garage.
Let's do it. In case you missed it, FIFA enraged fans by raising top World Cup Finals tickets to nearly $11,000 amid a heavily glitched sales window. Supporters and politicians are furious over the dynamic pricing, making the 2026 World Cup, quote, the most financially exclusive in history. This from a letter from 69 Democratic members of Congress. The prices are so high that even after saving all that money on not paying the TSA, members of Congress still don't have enough taxpayer dollars to buy their own tickets. I mean, I know 8 hours in an airport line is really tough, but imagine being a junior congressman from Delaware and not being able to sit in the luxury box. I mean, that is real. That is real torture. In case you missed it, police have released body cam footage from Tiger Woods' latest arrest during his latest rollover accident. It's being released by nearly every news outlet on the planet today, and they are selling it very hard to get their clicks up. Personally, I found it pretty dull, but maybe I'm the crazy one because the numbers are staggering. It just set a record for the largest Thursday film release ever, and it's already a favorite for the best celebrity body cam performance in next year's Oscars. Like, it is... You really stopped everything you were doing to watch that?
It's Tiger.
And did you get anything from it?
No. Got exactly what I thought I would from it.
Dude, the clicks and the amount of ads in front of it. How many? I sat through a minute of ads, and then I was like, "Why am I watching?"
I saw it on Twitter, so no ads.
Yeah, I saw. I saw the original one on Twitter, and then I saw an update that there was more released. Like, there was originally like 2 minutes of him kneeling in the ditch, and then there was 4 minutes of him with the interrogate. Just so stupid. In case you missed it, an Olympic windsurfing director in San Francisco Bay recently survived a head-on collision with a surfacing gray whale. True video. That one you need to watch. That's worth the ads. This comes as local officials reported that 4 gray whales have washed up dead in the bay over the past 2 weeks. While the whales' deaths haven't been officially linked to windsurfing yet, it's worth noting that the current count is 4 dead whales, 0 dead windsurfers. Coincidence? Yes, it's probably a coincidence. And finally, in case you missed it, the NBA has suspended Blazers assistant GMs Mike Schmitz and Sergey Oliva for 2 weeks without pay for illegal scouting in China. But here's the thing. If they're suspended, they technically aren't working for the team right now. Did the NBA just accidentally give them a 14-day tampering purge? $5 says Mike Schmitz just booked a flight to Lithuania for that bird watching trip that he hasn't been able to do because he's been too busy working all the time. Do you think I'm wrong? And the more important question is, are there other assistant GMs? I've seen this Blazers roster. I'm not 100% sure we can leave Joe Cronin alone to put the straw in his own juice boxes for 2 weeks. Without help, this dude is definitely going to lose an eye. Do we have somebody else to just... Is that how assistant GMs work? No? Is that not... Well, thank you to our studio audience. We appreciate that. 2:30, we've got all of the forums up. Just go to @FanHappyHour. Go to my Facebook page. Check out the fan sites. We'll see if Jake posted it. But we can play a little Take Your Pick at 2:30. It is a weekend series, Major League Baseball edition. We'll be doing that for the season. Should be fun. But right now, we need to get into some of the other latest news. What's going on with the recovery and rehab for J.P. Crawford. What's happening with the struggling and the ascending teams in the NBA. What news do we have from the NFL? All that and more in the Daily Buzz. It is next on Happy Hour. This is 105.1 The Fan. think I screwed up the links. Sent out the wrong one. I don't know what's going on. That's what happens when I try to rush things. I'm having nothing but trouble. It's because my brain doesn't work very well. I'll get it figured out. Before 2:30, we'll get this thing all set up. If you're waiting for J.P. Crawford to return to your lineup so you can get somebody that can finally hit for your stinking Mariners, well, good luck with that.
Oh, hey, now.
He's been slowed down by a rainout in Tacoma, so yeah, don't worry about that. A tough series against the Yankees for the Mariners. They lost 5-3 yesterday to the big bad Bronx Bombers. Kind of a bummer, but hey, we move on from it, and I owe a guy a piece of pizza, and it's not the worst thing that'll ever happen to anybody. Congratulations to you, Casey Smith.
The Buzz.
Sandy Alcantara had a dazzling complete game shutout for the Miami Marlins. Finished the shutout against the White Sox with only 93 pitches. Game was in Miami. Casey, I'm going to let you guess. How many fans do you think were there on a Wednesday in Miami?
What does the stadium sell?
Oh, I don't know. I'm gonna guess that it's probably close to any other stadium, and let's say there's 30,000 seats. 20,000 seats.
I'm going to guess they only sold about 8,000 then.
6,605 fans. Luckily, there's a bunch of White Sox fans
close
down there, I assume. You actually were pretty close with that one. Alcantara came out and said that the fans are not there, but we still love them. Oh, could you imagine trying to play baseball for Miami? They have so many better things to do than go to a baseball game, and they just have not embraced it, even though it feels like a part of the country where if you put the World Baseball Classic there, you're going to have one of the more exciting energies that you'll ever have for a baseball game. Yet, regular season baseball, zero draw. I mean, I've heard that Miami Heat games don't fill up until halftime, so who knows?
The Buzz.
Big news today, 19-year-old phenom Connor Griffin is going to make his debut for the Pittsburgh Pirates tomorrow for their home opener. AAA numbers hit 438 in 5 games last season in the minors with 21 home runs. At 19 years old, he'll be the first teenager up to the majors since Juan Soto did it in 2018. I think that is pretty good.
The Buzz.
I don't know if there's such thing as a must-win for a team that is really only competing for whether or not they're going to host or go on the road for a play-in game. I know that there's some value in that, but you're playing the Pelicans. You should win this game, Portland Trail Blazers. Can you do that for all of us tonight?
Should we call it a can't lose rather than a must win?
Ooh, actually, I don't hate that. Better not lose. Don't you dare lose.
Don't you dare?
Don't you dare lose.
Don't
I
you
think
dare
this is
lose.
a don't you dare lose this game, you punks. I think that's what we go with. I think that's definitely the way to do it.
The Buzz.
The Boston Celtics scored 53 points in the first quarter against the Miami Heat yesterday. 53 points. Can we like take a note from the Miami Heat? How great would it have been if they just decided that they were going to score 200 against the Heat and didn't let up at all? That would have been the repayment for Bam Adebayo. Just go out there and do that. Boston made 11 three-pointers in the quarter. They shot 20 of 28 overall. Jaylen Brown had 20 points alone in the fourth quarter, and Sam Hauser 5 for 5 from deep.
That ties the Chicago Bulls and the Miami Heat for the most points in a quarter this season.
Yes, it does, and it was amazing because I think I've explained this to you how much I hate headlines because they always try to mislead you. It says Celtics torched the Heat by scoring a franchise record 53 in the first. It's not even the most they've scored in a quarter, but it's the most they've scored in a first quarter. Come on. They scored 54 in the 80s or something in a quarter, so it's not even their team record. Can we just focus on big records, people? Is that too much to ask?
The Buzz.
We mentioned it earlier, but Nikola Jokic joins Russell Westbrook as the only players in NBA history to average a triple-double in back-to-back seasons. He is averaging right now 27.9 points per game, 13 rebounds, and 10.8 assists. You said that he could go out and put up zeros in all three categories for the final 5 games of the season and still have a triple-double. Is that what you said earlier?
I think as long as he doesn't play.
Oh, okay. So he has to. He still has to go out and then why would they announce that he's made it?
Because he might not play.
But how many games has he played? If he has 0 assists,
61.
how many assists does he have on the season as a total? And just divide that by 65. If he has 650, then he's there. Is that what it's at? Because he can play in 66 games.
He averages 10.8.
Yeah, I've got that. How many does he have total? Thanks for nothing.
The Buzz.
Wembanyama, trying to force himself into the MVP conversation, posted a second consecutive 41-point game, 10th straight Spurs victory. There is going to be a time in the very near future where we're not going to be able to deny this guy MVPs. If he starts winning them now, it can certainly start a trend that will go or could go for a very, very long time. That dude is good at basketball.
660.
See, there you go. So he's made it. I told you, you big dummy.
The Buzz.
Kansas Jayhawks are going to have their coach back, Bill Self. I love that he took time to reflect. And what did it take, a week? I need to go talk to my family and just figure out, assess my health. A week.
Well,
They haven't even gotten to the Final Four.
What's his last name?
It's Bill Self. We talked about this. Nobody wants him at home. He'd be insufferable. He's never been home for long stretches of time. He's coached the Kansas Jayhawks for 23 years. I don't know what he did before that, but I'm guessing you don't get the job as the head coach of the Kansas Jayhawks basketball team without coaching basketball. So let's just assume he's been coaching basketball his entire life. He was probably that kid on his YMCA team that was like, "Coach, I really think we should probably run more lines." And this is what he does.
Coached at Oral Roberts, Tulsa, and Illinois.
And how long? When was his first coaching job? If you're looking at Wikipedia,
1993 was when he started head coaching at Oral Roberts.
But that's head coaching. There's nothing else listed before that? Did he just stop playing, go right to head coaching Oral Roberts?
Early career, he was a graduate assistant under Larry Brown at Kansas.
There you go.
And before returning to his alma mater, Oklahoma State, as an assistant.
There you go. All right.
The Buzz.
Well, we mentioned this earlier. The Raiders have finalized a 1-year, $20 million contract with Kirk Cousins. He will be their starting quarterback. If you listen to what Clint Kubiak said yesterday, he does not have any intention of starting a rookie unless he has to. But that means that you'll have a pretty good mentor for Fernando Mendoza, because it sounds like the Raiders are still planning to take him. And the final one, the Bengals are adding a safety that you're familiar with, Kyle Duggar, going to be in the secondary for the Bengals. The Bengals adding defense in the offseason. Look at that. Let me go and see if I can figure out what I did wrong with these links. But right now, let's walk over to the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. See what we're missing.
First on the Fan, the Final Four is starting tomorrow, as Arizona and Michigan will take on each other, as Illinois and UConn will be the 2 and 3 seeds taking on each other.
We had a little bracket challenge between you and I, didn't we?
I was going to check in on that.
Yeah, I haven't looked at it in a while. I have Arizona, I have Michigan, and I have UConn in there. I didn't have Illinois, but I don't think you did either. I think we both had Houston. You had Houston winning the whole thing.
I had Houston
then
winning it all.
I've got you beat.
Yeah, you've got me beat.
Come on, I've got
left,
Michigan.
right,
I don't know if I need Michigan to win the whole thing, but yeah, I think we're fine there. So maybe you owe me a slice of pizza too. I don't know that we made that a bet, but I'll buy yours, you buy mine.
I'm with that. It sounds like a fair deal.
All right.
All right. And for more sports scores and stories in 30 minutes, I'm Casey Smith from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at WarrenAllen.com.
The home of the firm of Luke Anderson.
All right, so I think I sent out the wrong. I didn't give access to the standings. This is the first week with standings. We got the take your pick up and running. Did you play last week, Casey?
I did not.
Oh, what a loser!
I know.
Well, then I'm whooping you. I did all right. I got 9. Kerry got 11. He's our big winner. And then this guy Brandon filled it out on like Saturday morning or late Friday night. No credit for that. Come on, I'm getting you shut down. That's why I was thrown off by the timestamp thing. I want to make sure that he was busted and out of there. Hey, let's take a look at this. So if you want to play along, we're trying to pick the weekend series. This is a little way for us to check in every Thursday, take a look at what's coming up over the weekend for baseball. We're going to pick the series. Well, are we going to talk about every single one in detail? Absolutely not. But if you want to play along and prove that you're better than us, we'll have you join us next Thursday when we do the same thing. So go on to at Fan Happy Hour on Twitter or X or whatever it's called, and you can find the link there, or you can go to my personal Facebook page. I think that I have them correct. Casey, can you verify that you were able to get into the one for today? Did I do it right?
There they are.
Okay, we got the picks up. So
Yep, you are in.
Now, here's something that I did not plan ahead for, and I'm not going to make any adjustments for. I don't know what to do with this. Blue Jays, White Sox postponed. So, which, if I had it correct, it's a White Sox home game. So, okay. Maybe they play the series. Maybe they don't play any of it at all. Who knows? I'm not going to make any adjustments for that. So if you're looking for the day game where you got the big advantage, guess what? You don't get the advantage. I'm sorry, Chicago has bad weather. So you've got a matchup between the Diamondbacks and the Braves this weekend. Diamondbacks looked real rough against the Dodgers. Then they went out and swept the Tigers. What do you make of that? Tigers not as good as we thought they were. Dodgers better than we thought they were. Dodgers didn't look as good in their second series.
Dodgers didn't look great against the Guardians the other night.
This is what I'm saying. Do you have any idea if any of these teams are good right now?
No, and that's what I love about baseball is I'm picking the split in this Atlanta-Arizona game.
Yeah.
Again, 4 games.
Yeah.
It's too early in the season to say who's going to be the favorite.
Now, you did get to see the Giants up close and personal. The Giants are playing the Mets this weekend, and that's in San Francisco. It didn't go well when they played your New York team. You can go split there as well and just cower in the corner, or are you brave enough to pick one of these teams to win?
I really hate the Mets, but I got to take them there. Juan Soto is a special player.
That is fair. So as we go through this throughout the season, will there be any point where you pick somebody to win besides the Dodgers? You're just going to pick them to win every series and play your odds. They are at the Nationals for a 3-game set this weekend.
That's a tough one.
Yeah?
Because I don't ever want to vote for the Nationals, but also when the Dodgers look bad, they play bad for a few weeks.
That certainly was the case last year. They would go through these lulls where it was like, what was wrong with them? Obviously, they got the postseason and were able to turn it on at the right time. The Nationals are 500 right now, so it's not like they haven't done anything. I don't know, man. I feel like the instinct is to just go, let's just go Dodgers along the whole way.
Does Yoshi or
it'll
Shohei
even
pitch in any one of those games?
See, that's the beauty of picking the series, was I didn't want to make it all about pitching matchups and going and trying to cherry pick those. I don't think that you'll get Shohei, because didn't he pitch 2 nights ago? So he would probably be, if it's a 3-game series, he'd be your Monday or Tuesday starter, would be my guess. Yes, no, maybe so? I'm not sure.
Verifying, it's loading.
Well, you're looking at most teams have played 6 or 7 games, so you should be getting the middle of lineup of pitching rotations. So if that gives you any guesses on that.
Pitching is not posted yet.
Yeah, well, again, it's not going to be. So that's why I'm saying we're trying to just kind of predict off of that. So, but again, it's a weekend series, so you pick it. These are all series that are starting tomorrow, and it should be interesting what you have there. Do you have any confidence against the Marlins, or because they beat you in a World Series, you just kind of go, oh, well, listen, they're our daddy, and we'll be happy that we don't have to play them as often as we.
How many fans showed up last game, you said? Or was that the Rays? Or you said
No, that was the Marlin. They had 6,000.
6,000?
6,605.
Wait for the 2,000 in pinstripes to show up.
Well, no, they're playing the game in New York. But the Marlins, remember, in this story that I just told you, they're the ones that threw a complete game no-hitter with 93 pitches. So they don't need fans to show up and do anything, especially against the Yankees, who, listen, they outperformed their expectations over this weekend. I don't think anybody had them beating the World Series champion Seattle Mariners in 2 out of 3. So, listen, they've been playing over their skis. They're down, ready for a downturn. There's no way that they get anything going against the Marlins. I don't think you believe that they can, do you?
I'll take 2 games.
Did we ever look up? We were talking about this the other day. I can't remember if this was on the air or off there. Did we ever look up to see how quickly we had been without a undefeated team? Because there was, after the opening series of this season, there was, within the first game of each of the next series, there were no undefeated teams. The Yankees right now sit at 5-1. The Marlins also sit at 5-1. So jokes aside, the Marlins are off to a hot start, and the Milwaukee Brewers are 5-1. Those are your only one-loss teams. So I don't know how far we usually go into the Major League Baseball season with a undefeated team, with a winless team. But there are no teams that without a loss, and there are no teams without a win in Major League Baseball through, like I said, 6-7 games for most teams.
The longest undefeated streak in MLB history is 26 games. Back in 1916, the New York Giants.
That's to open a season, went 26-0.
26 wins, 1 tie. But more
yeah.
recently, 22-0, the 2017 Cleveland Indians did that.
So what's the shortest? That's going to be a hard stat. This is why we need the game Googler. We've talked about this before. We need to get some kids that are very good at searching the internet for the information. But I'd be curious what the shortest duration as a league is to for all your teams to have a loss. I mean, I know that if we go back far enough, there was only 7 teams or whatever it was, and you were playing, just in the alleyways of whatever borough of New York you were from. But at some point, there had to be, enough teams that you have data on that. But that would be my curiosity is, nobody made it to 4 wins. You're looking as if you found something. Some of the other series that you're going to get this week.
I'm getting a lot of just timing stuff.
Yep, exactly. You'd have to go back and scour it, man. And AI is not reliable at all. On the other spectrum of what you have with the Yankees and Marlins, who are both at the top of their divisions, the Red Sox have 1 win. The Padres have 2. Where do you go with a series like that? Would you rather pick 2 teams that are winning right now and just assume that your team is going to win, or you like them when they're just both bottom dwellers? Where I didn't expect the Padres to be bad. I don't know what I expected of the Red Sox.
I think that's the tough one for me, because the Padres, I think, again, coming off of the World Baseball Classic, they're going to light up with the bats, and we haven't seen that. I'm going to take the Padres because I really like Tatis and Machado, but I would not be surprised if Boston runs away with this series from start to finish.
All right. Well, there you go. Well, it's a 3-game series. Start to finish is kind of a pretty broad.
3-game sweep could be possible.
Well, 3-game sweeps could always be possible. The Rockies off to a Rockies kind of start, 2-4 to start the season. Phillies just 3-3 go to Coors Field. is this just moonshots for Schwarber and Bryce Harper, or is it too cold still? Right there. That's always my question. Is like that field is so big and so crazy that I love the idea of this team playing, but I also can picture it being 28 degrees because it's still April.
Again, still April, but I think that they're going to hit the ball around the yard on Colorado.
Well, that's the other thing. Even if you're not hitting home runs, because of altitude, they made the park so big that it makes it definitely interesting. Guardians, Cubs is another one. I'll let you guys pick that on your own. Tampa Bay is going to take on Minnesota, who's just wrapping up their game with the Royals before they go into the series. The one that I want to get you at, Pirates. Do they get some juice from having the kid? How does he do this weekend? Connor Griffin, 19 years old, coming up, getting his start at shortstop for the home opener. Pirates welcome in the Orioles, who off to a mediocre start.
Mediocre?
500. They're a 500 start. It's a 3-3.
I think they're hitting the ball very well, though.
Yeah, well,
that's the one thing that I have to is the Orioles bats look good, and Pete Alonso hasn't quite found Pete Alonso in Baltimore yet.
Well,
Baltimore.
Pete Alonso has looked just fine. The run differential so far through 6 games for the Orioles, -1. So they are scoring, but they're not stopping anybody. They have scored 26 runs. They have given up 27. Actually, while I have the standings,
what do the Pirates struggle to do?
The Pirates struggle to do is they have a +3 run differential with 29 runs scored and 26 runs allowed. They're both off to the exact same start.
Okay.
The team that stands out the most on here, it's your Yankees. The only single-digit runs allowed. The Yankees have given up 6 runs. I mean, they embarrassed the Giants and their new college coach who is moving up to take on Major League Baseball. First guy ever to go straight from college as a head coach to the pros. Did not look good for him. But the Yankees also didn't give up a whole lot of runs against the Mariners either. So I can't really say that the Giants were, the only ones to fall victim to the Yankees pitching. But yeah, there's not a whole lot of teams that are standing out. Now, I know I'm getting text messages from Will Darkins, noted Baltimore Orioles fan, so I'm sure he has plenty of things to say. So he's getting Eflin back in a few nights, and Trevor Rogers is a dog, apparently. So, yes, if you'd like to know what's going on there, I don't know where Skeens is in the rotation, but if you want to take a look at that might make things...
He did just throw the other day, so...
It's probably 6 games in. He should pitch again the 11th start of the season, so he will not pitch in this series, which probably makes everybody feel good.
I'll take Baltimore.
I'm waiting to see what kind of juice the kid brings up. I always think that's kind of a fun thing to take a look at and just see what that does for everybody. Within my division, Astros, A's. And right now the Astros are leaders in the American League West, 5-2. Rangers 4-2. Mariners 3-4, Angels 3-4. The Athletics are 1-5. They were supposed to be this lineup, at least that I was thinking was going to be awesome. But the Blue Jays went out and struck them out 11 times with 2 different starting pitchers. They have only scored 17 runs so far and given up 27. So if you're just looking at early returns on it, do you trust that the A's get something going, or those pesky Astros end up still being the team that you have to beat when it comes down to the final few games of the season? And those stupid Astros are there, but hopefully we can go down to Minute Maid and whoop up on again on the way to another postseason run.
God, I hate the Astros.
I
just hate them so much.
It'll be such a nice feeling when they go through a lull and they know Yordan Alvarez
and Jordan's not putting balls up against
into the train
in the sky.
Whatever they put a train out there anyways, but yeah, blasting them to the back wall of Minute Maid, and Jose Altuve and his short little weird body and his smug face, and yeah, I won't be happy when they're gone. That is for sure. So Astros, A's, and then the last one, of course, is the Mariners, Angels. Mike Trout off to a good start. Kind of like seeing that, but I don't like seeing it against the Mariners. Mariners need to get something right. I mean, they're not going to go the entire season without Julio, Cal, and Naylor actually getting on base.
Got to score runs.
Got to score some runs, but your pitching on the back end of your bullpen was good the first time through, so hopefully it can do the same thing. So I'll take the Mariners in that, obviously. And then the tiebreaker, 13 games on Monday. I put the wrong Monday date in there. I never updated that. Oh, well. On Monday, you will have 13 games. Pick me the total points for all the games, and whoever gets closest to that will win the tiebreaker. Play along at home. Go to Fan Happy Hour on X. Go to my Facebook page or look on the fan socials to try to take your pick and play along. Right now, we need to get to going, and we are going to talk about a hoax that I got to be honest. When people scam the elderly, it just really makes my blood boil. So that is your story. When we do one more for the road, we do it next. It is Happy Hour on 105.1 The Fan.
The Fan.
Miss anything from the show? We did 2 hours today. We have 2 hours tomorrow, and then I'm going to take a week off, and who knows what'll happen while I'm out. Oh, stop it, would you? It is podcast available, 1051thefan.com, odyssey.com, the Odyssey app. Anywhere you buy and sell your podcast, you can find it, and it is great. Casey, what did we hear from the fans of the Fan on the Fan text line and the Fan YouTube chats?
Should Tom Dundon have created some sort of prank for Blazers fans? Keep them on their toes?
No, pranks are dumb, and don't waste your time with them. So, no. I appreciate that, but no.
And then Rufio on the YouTube chat. I'm not exaggerating. I'm 5'9", 155.
Did he say that you were adding weight and height?
That's crazy work.
If somebody's going to exaggerate, they're not going to put themselves at 5'9". Which direction does he think you're exaggerating?
That's what I'm curious. Which way do you think I am?
Yeah, you're a beefcake. You're a big fat fatty. There's no way. No, come on. Come on, Rufio. Don't body shame our producers. Unbelievable. Some of these listeners, it's ridiculous. Hey, speaking of hoaxes, Oh, this one is bad. This is not fun. Let's do.
One more road.
Well, if you're cruising around the internet yesterday and you saw stories that reported the world's oldest tortoise was dead, that was a hoax. He is not dead. Jonathan the tortoise, believed to be 193 years old, still kicking, still rolling, still going. There was more than 2 million people that clicked on fake stories of his death yesterday. And here's the worst part. This was not an April Fool's joke. This was not somebody trying to be funny. This was genuinely somebody trying to get crypto donations. This was an actual con. Somebody used Jonathan, the poor 193 years young tortoise, to try to go out and scam people. It's one thing to try to scam the elderly. That's awful anyways. Faking the death of the oldest animal that we know of to do it? Does that make it doubly bad? It's just absolutely unacceptable.
Some people out there.
Yeah. 2 million people got, not hoodwinked, but got roped into this story. Did you have any idea that there was a 193-year-old tortoise hanging out on some island somewhere?
I knew there was old tortoises. 193 is that short? How long do tortoises live for?
Well, I mean, if he's the oldest one alive, I genuinely have no idea. It's insane to think about, because anytime you think about, longevity or whatever, we obviously use ourselves as the barometer and just go, hey, if you're lucky you live to be 100 years old. Of course, if you've met people that are near 100 years old, sometimes you question that. Are you one of these people, Casey, that wants to live forever?
God, no. That sounds exhausting. Yeah. Past 85 sounds exhausting.
Just pick a number. I don't know. I suppose if you have something that keeps you engaged and interested, like seeing the old people that go out and have their tea time set every Thursday and go out and do that as something to keep them engaged, I think makes it whatever. But man, just living a long time to live a long time. I mean, I think I stick with I don't care about the number. It's just the quality.
I think I'm with you there.
When people ask me, they're like, oh, how old would you like to live? I always say the same thing. I haven't actually stopped and evaluated, but if you ask me, the way I want to die, 93 years old, I jump off of the boat to save the baby out of the water that's on fire, throw it back on the boat, and then the shark eats me. That's how I want to go. At 93 years old.
It's a pretty great way to go.
Yeah, I mean, for me, that's the way that I look at it. But as long as you have something to do, the curiosity will be, not for me with medical science of how much vitality can we get out of our bodies, how much, but it's not even that. It's not the medicine, it's not the biology, it's not the modifications that you can make to it. It's that engagement. What is it that's going to keep people interested? Because our minds go through all these different changes as our bodies do, and we look at it. But at some point, you're going to lose people that you love along the way, and you're going to go through the cycle of life that people have gone through in one way or another for millennia. At what point is it going to be like, hey, you don't want to die at 95. You want to play more Candy Crush. No thanks.
I'm out.
The way that we're entertaining ourselves now, if it's just more of that, you know what? Yeah, I think I'm good. But being able to be like, hey, we've figured out a way that you can go out and, live without knee pain and do this and do all the things that you love, get outside, breathe fresh air, do all that, see more of the world. But if it's like, hey, strap on these virtual reality goggles and we're going to keep your husk alive to 170 years. Yeah. Nope.
I'm out.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not interested in any of that stuff now. Like people, like my daughter, all she wants is VR, and every Christmas we just try to distract her with something else, and so she stops bringing it up, or like pretend we don't hear her. But yeah, I don't want any part of that. So if it's 193 and I get to live on a beautiful island with perfect lush grass, will people come around and take pictures of me while I walk around in slow motion?
That sounds much better.
Sounds like a pretty good life for a tortoise, man. And Jonathan, still alive. Big thanks to Casey Smith. Thank you for everybody that listened. Thank you for everybody that's joining in on our silly little take your pick game. And of course, thank you, Isaac Robb. We're all done for now. Bye-bye.
Always look on the right side of life.